In this section we're going to take a look at making collections, and there's three ways we can do this. We can make a quick collection, and you can see a reference to that in the catalogue options at the top left. And we can make two types of collections down here. One of them is a standard collection and the other one is a smart collection. So what in fact is a collection used for? Why do we want one? Well, collections are great when we have a project in mind and we want to gather photos together from within our catalogue. That could be a dozen photos, it could be 50 or 60. The one important fact to remember is that collections, smart collections and quick collections are not making a physical copy of our image. It's simply adding another index card to our already made catalogue to keep track of the collection separately from the images we see in our normal catalogue. This means we can drop images into collections and out of collections at any time without any fear that we're removing images from our catalogue or our computer. We can include a collection within a collection, but I found this most useful when it's just used as a single freestanding collection. Give it a name and you're ready to use it. Now we can make collections in any catalogue we choose, but in my case, for the examples I've chosen, I want to go to my finished catalogue, and we're currently in our raw or our original files catalogue, so I don't want to select from these images, particularly the scanned images here. But so far today I already have had open my other catalogue. So if I want to swap from catalogue to catalogue, we've done this before, but if I go to the top left of my screen and go to File, Open Recent, there you can see we've got a nice quick shortcut to our finished image catalogue. As usual, Lightroom does need to close down very briefly to open back up with the appropriate catalogue. Remember, we've got 4 folders of images here. In the fullness of time, of course, we're going to have many more. So we need to go to our collections, and we're going to make, via this little cross here, or this little plus, a new collection. You can see we can make a standard collection and a smart collection, which we'll come back to in a moment. So let's choose to create a collection. We're offered the choice of a name. In this case, I'm going to make a slideshow. I could use the name of the slideshow if I already know what I'm going to use. But here, I'll just use the words slideshow. That's all I need. I don't want to include any selected photos. I want to be able to just drag the ones in as I look and browse. So I'm going to create that. There it is. It's just appeared, and the little 0 is telling us at the moment there's no images in our slideshow collection. Now this slideshow project that we're about to make could be via an external slideshow program like the one I use, Pictures to Exe, or even the slideshow option within Lightroom itself. So one of our first tasks is going to be to get together as many images as we can on our chosen topic. Generally speaking, a slideshow has a chosen topic, but for the sake of demonstration, I'm sure you'll allow me to vary that just a little bit. Let's assume that this slideshow has a wildlife topic. So we'll take a look and see just how many images we can get together on that particular topic. Straight away, I can see 2 here before I scroll down. Now I can do this one image at a time, or as you know, if we hold the Control key, we can select separate images. So I could go down the whole folder of images using the scroll bar on the right and select all the images in one go. But to make it a little more interesting, let's drag those 2 in. And you can see what happens straight away. We're shown a number 2 because that's what we've dragged in. And as I scroll down, I can pick up any other images that I think are going to be relative. There's another one. Hold the Control key and I'll click to select the one next door. This time I will scroll down and look to see if there's any others here. Doesn't appear to be any, so I seem to have all of the images from this folder, which amount to 4. So I'll drag those in as well. Now I can do the same thing with any or all of the folders that I currently have. Straight away I can see there's nothing there, but we've got quite a few images in June, so let's take a look. Just scrolling down, and remember we can make the thumbnails bigger or smaller. There's an image. I'll select that and hold the control key as we come down the page. There's another, there's another. But that looks to be the total, so we'll click, drag and drop those in as well. And the final folder, we may as well do this one too. Here we've got a few images, or a few more images, and some in a row, so don't forget that shift click method where we can select them like that. But because I've got a lot here, I hold the control key and I'll just select the ones that I want to use. Don't have to select them all, of course, but it's good to have more to choose from. There's a few there, and there's a famous character there. We'll have him too, and some more bird shots. So you can see this is a very quick and easy way to select images. And once I've got those selected, let's drag those into our collection, and it's telling us we've got 23 images. That collection will remain within this catalogue for as long as I leave it there. So I could tuck it away, and I could choose to carry on working on another project because I intend to come back to this later. But when I do, all I need to do is select it, and there's all the images that I've set aside in my slideshow collection. Remember, we're not looking at duplicates here. We're looking at just another index card which links back to the images wherever they are in those 4 folders. Now remember, we're not going to lose any images if we remove them from our collection, and this is why it's so useful to use for a project like this, because straight away you could look maybe at the first 2 images and say, well, this one probably won't be used because it's been chosen in black and white and all the other images are in colour. So what I could do with this one is just highlight this and hit the delete key, and it just goes. But I can reassure you and say we haven't lost that from our catalogue. It's still there, we've only removed it from our slideshow. Similarly with the ibis images here, I could decide which one of these I want to use. Maybe I want to select 2 from 3. Well, we know we've got options to do that, but we can also just double click and we can see the image large. I can then use the arrow keys on the keyboard to jump from one image to another. And out of those 3 images, I quite like the 2 on the right more than the other one, so hit the grid screen. This one then can now go. And we can do the same thing with any of the other images. So in fact, we're not removing an image from our computer or our catalogue when we hit the delete key. We're just juggling those index cards, and to be honest, we don't even have to do that because Lightroom takes care of that for us. In fact, we can go to our collections at any time, right click, and I can delete them. Even though our collection is filled with images, once we've completed our new project, we can delete them. Once our collection is complete, we can use Ctrl+A to select all of those images, and we could now export them to our slideshow project folder, particularly if we were making a slideshow using a third-party slideshow software program like Pictures2Exe. Then the images will be copied to the new location. Now this can be quite important for a slideshow because we may want to make other permanent changes to these images, and it's reassuring to know all of the originals are safe within Lightroom and we are now working on copies. I'm not going to include the export options here. We're going to deal with exporting files a little bit later in the develop module videos.